We've had our honeybees in this hive for 1.5 years now, and they still haven't given us any honey. What are we doing wrong? The answer to that question is actually pretty simple. It's a combination of the less managed way that I want to keep the bees. I tend to let them fend for themselves and not do too much for them. And the fact that we've been in bad drought here for the last couple of years. So yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that later, but we'll go and get a veil on and we'll jump in and see what they've been doing. One of the things that I do to help me keep an eye on what's going on in the hive is I write the year number on the top of the bars when they start building comb on. It just lets me know how old the comb is. And I also know when I go in here today that the last time I was in here, these two bars here, they don't have anything written on them. So these were both empty. I know that. And it just helps me keep a track, and I'll hopefully in the years to come, I'll be able to then move the older bars up and cycle them out to get rid of the old comb. Now these have been going very slow for quite a while. We did get some good rain back in March. We're in May now, which is right at the end of autumn for us, but that rain has meant that a lot of our local trees have gone into flower, and the bees have definitely been making the most of it. The population in here has just exploded over the last few weeks. Now, I know from memory that this one was just a tiny bit of comb up until only about 2 weeks ago. And now it's just packed with nectar. It's almost a full bar. And they are just packing that full. Some beautiful capped honey on this side. It's been a long time coming, but that is just awesome to see. There's a lot of weight in these bars, which is a new thing for me because up until very recently they've all been fairly light. That's just beautiful, beautiful honey. Doesn't it make you just want to rip a chunk off and chew into it? I know that's how I feel when I look at it. But coming into winter, I won't be taking any from these guys. They'll be keeping everything that they've got. I know I've said before, we do have very mild winters here compared to a lot of places where bees are kept. And there's not too many days during our winter where they won't get out and forage. And we do have a lot of winter flowering stuff here, so you know, they don't have it very hard, but I will be leaving the honey with them and we'll see what they've got left over in spring. It's a lot of honey packed on the top of that and brood down further. More brood on there, but there is a lot of honey packed on those frames. Uh-oh. What the hell have they done here? I was in here a couple of days ago and I had to straighten one comb up. And it looks like instead of repairing the top of it and attaching it back to the bar, they've actually attached it to the side of the hive. And now the whole comb is stuck in there. I might just close them back up. And I'll go down and grab some wire and stuff and I'll see if I can patch that back up. Alright, so we've got the trusty zip ties. Hopefully they'll be wide enough that they'll give a bit of support to that comb and hold it up against the bar, but be thin enough that they're not going to keep the bars separated too much. So hopefully that will actually work. Sorry little mate, put my hand on your head. So what's actually happened here is it was one of the screwed up ones that you would have seen in the last video. It had a couple of combs on the same bar, and it was starting to go across onto the next bar, so I sort of bent it and reshaped it back a little bit. But either I've weakened one of the combs and it's come off, or whatever's happened. And you can see that comb is attached to the side, and it should be attached to the top bar, but they've attached it to the sides and it's broken off the top bar. Yeah, so we really do need to address that. Yeah, now he's angry. They don't like rain either. And of course now it's going to rain. Unbelievable. Couldn't just be as simple as coming to make a bee video about how good the bees are doing and how they're making honey and doing really well. Couldn't be that simple, could it? Right, now that the rain shower's gone, let's see what else can go wrong. Yeah. Fairly sure that this is my biggest disaster. I don't even know why I'm still videoing it. If anybody gets any enjoyment out of this video, can you please let me know? Because otherwise I don't even know if I'll be doing this shit again. Just going to put that back in there, and we'll have to sort that out another day. So I think we'll all agree that that was an absolute disaster. If it hadn't have been for that detached comb, it would have been a pretty straightforward inspection. I could have shown you a couple of things that I know were going on in that hive that I was actually looking forward to showing you, but yeah, that detached comb sort of changed, yeah, the whole inspection. Probably could have left it alone, just reassembled everything and let them do their thing, but at some point that comb's got to come out. You can't just leave it in there, not attached to the top bar. So you need to do that when they have access to resources so that they can repair the damage, whatever. So we've done that. Apart from that, they're looking really good. They've whacked heaps more nectar in there over the last 2 days since the last time I was in there. Yeah, so they are really cranking at the moment, which is good to see after them being so quiet for so long. If you saw them at the 5-month inspection, yeah, they had nothing compared to what they've got now. So that's really good to see them cranking along. I've got the next hive here ready to go. So hopefully in spring we can do a split and we'll have 2 hives here next year. I may add a couple more yet. I think probably 4 or 5 would be a good number to have. Yeah. Maybe we'll see how the next few inspections go. If we get hammered like that too many more times, I might lose interest. No. Anyway, we will leave them alone because they are pretty stirred up. And yeah, thanks for watching and let me know what you thought.